You are on probation in four cases, four different cases. There's a first amended motion to revoke probation that has been filed in each of these cases, ma'am. And these allege, looks like.
This courtroom just got serious. Today, we're watching a defendant face not one, not two, but four separate burglary cases, all under probation, 10 years each, stacked up like dominoes. But here's the twist. She's accused of breaking nearly every rule in the book, from skipping probation check-ins to testing positive for meth. The judge isn't playing around. One violation could send her straight to prison, so grab your seat, because what starts as a probation hearing quickly turns into a masterclass in consequences, excuses, and one judge's patience being tested to the limit.
At up to 10 years in prison if you don't do well. Well, there's a first amended motion filed in each of these cases, and it's alleged that you failed to report to the probation office in August of 24, failed to immediately report your change of address to the probation office, provided a urine sample in July of 24 that had methamphetamine and amphetamines and other drugs in your system, failed to provide verification of performing community service hours, failed to make restitution payments, and failed to pay court-assessed fees. Also, it looks like in March of this year, it states you committed the offense of illegal possession of a controlled substance. Is that a case filed in the parish of Calcasieu in Louisiana? Is that a pending case?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe it.
And then failed to remain in Jefferson County by being in Calcasieu Parish in Louisiana without permission, and then illegally possessing methamphetamines, according to Calcasieu Parish. There's 10 different violations here. Only takes one to get revoked and for me to assess the punishment. All right, what are we going to do on this case while she's just kind of sitting around? And I know she wants to move on with her life. What are we going to do, Mr. Turk? Do we need a hearing on this?
We may, judge, just because I think there may be some mitigation on this one that she wants to present. She has given me letters.
Always plead true, and then mitigation is part of what is the disposition issue.
Part of it, I want to make sure she understands what the risks of pleading true are. We were having conversations in the back.
You understand that if it's up to the court, if I find any of these allegations true, then, and that's just by what we call a preponderance of the evidence. I'm playing the scales of justice. 50%.
That's a key moment. The judge isn't just scolding. He's teaching. What he's saying here is that probation is a privilege, not a free pass. It's basically a second chance instead of prison. But the system expects accountability. Missing meetings, using drugs, or failing to pay restitution aren't small mistakes. They're violations of trust. And that 93% success rate, that's the judge's way of reminding her she's already in the unlucky minority. You can almost hear his disappointment. It's not just about crime here, it's about wasted opportunity. What do you think? Is the system fair, or does it set people up to fail?
For 10 years, but you can't commit crimes or violate your probation. That's important. 93% of the people on probation are successful. 93%. And I want 100%, but sometimes folks like you end up making mistakes if you did, and we've got to fix them. And that's what we do here. Now, the question is, what do you want to do? Are you going to plead true to these, or do you want a hearing on this? And that's between you and your lawyer to talk about. Have you had some time to talk to Mr. Turk? He's a nice man.
Yeah.
But are you ready to decide what you're going to do, or do you need a little more time to think?
No, sir, I'm ready, and I would like to speak if I.
You're going to be heard. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to listen to everything everybody says. And this is a nice man. He's representing the state. He's a prosecutor. And Mr. Turk, your defense attorney, and you. And then there's the probation officer. And everybody's going to get heard. And then I get to make the decision. You don't get a jury trial. It's up to me. So what do you want to do? And when do you want to do it? That's all I want to know today.
To do it right now. And I wrote you a letter If
You did?
I haven't had a chance to do it to you.
Oh, was it a nice letter?
It's a nice
Oh,
letter.
okay. Well, I like nice letters.
She's
But you're gonna
got
get,
your voice.
you can even read it to me if you want. That's your business. All right. Does then, you've had a chance to think of this. This was filed back on September 30th. So that's not a long time at all. These are new. So do you waive, you have 30 days at least, I give you, to prepare for this, or do you want to move forward today? You would? All right. Uh, does Mr. Turk, on behalf of the defendant, does the defendant waive formal readings of these first amended motions to revoke probation in these cases? Cause numbers 23 CR 341, 23 CR 342, 23 CR 343, and finally 23 CR 360. Can we proceed in summary?
We may judge.
And does the defendant waive all additional time period she may have under the law to proceed? And we can proceed today.
Yes, sir.
All right. In summary, ma'am, and raise your right hand, Lydia. Are you Lydia Christine Stafford?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you promise that any statements that you make during this hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, lower your hand. In summary, these motions similarly state that on July 31st, 2023, in this court, the Criminal District Court of Jefferson County, Texas, you were convicted of burglaries of a habitation in each case, second-degree felonies. You were sentenced to 10 years in prison. That was suspended, and you were placed on regular probation for 10 years in each of these cases. Is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Allegation one in each case similarly states that you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office on or about August 27th, 2024, in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
It's true, sir.
Are you pleading true voluntarily and because it is true as it is alleged?
Yes, sir. It's true.
Do you understand that a voluntary and knowingly made plea of true to one or more violations of probation, that's all it takes to grant a motion to revoke probation by a preponderance of the evidence or greater by the court? Your probation can be revoked and you can be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison on each of these cases. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today?
Yes, sir.
I find you are pleading true voluntarily, and you understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. Now, I understand the probation office is represented here, and on behalf of the probation officer, she failed to report on that day. Did she abscond after August?
Yes, she never reported.
So she hasn't reported in over a year,
Yeah, the last office visit was July 30th of 2024.
and she's been AWOL, as it were,
Yes.
away without leave. She had failed to report since August of 2024. So that's over a year.
Yes.
If that's important. You have to touch base. You have to keep communicating with the probation officer. Hold on, you're going to get to, or else you're not really on probation. You're on your own probation. And that's not something you're supposed to do. You're under my supervision. I can't supervise you if you're gone, All right. So that one is true and correct, right?
Yeah.
All right. And you're going to get a chance to speak here. Then we're going to go to allegation 4 in each of these cases. And this alleges that on July 30th of 2024, which may have been a bad sign, That was the last time you had reported, huh? July 24th. On that day, July 30th, 2024, you provided a urine sample, I guess, to the probation office, and it showed, it was tested scientifically and showed that you had amphetamine, ecstasy, and marijuana in your system, which is a violation of your probation order. Is all of that true and correct?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading true to that voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because it is true? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again, the same thing applies. You have to understand that a knowing and voluntary plea of truth to any violation of probation, that is enough to grant the motion to revoke probation. Your probation can be revoked and you can be sentenced to no less than 2 nor more than 10 years confinement in prison. So understanding that, as we had told you before in the other violations, knowing that, do you insist on pleading true to this allegation nonetheless? I find you are pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. Okay, and then finally, we've got this thing, this little rash of problems out of Calcasieu Parish. What's the status of all of that? Mr. Turk, do you know?
I don't know for a fact. Judge. I'm not.
All right, I'm reluctant to go into that because it could affect the dispositions of those, and she's presumed innocent unless found guilty. So we can move forward, though, on these 2 allegations, 1 and 4. All right. Now, anything to add from the state of Texas?
Yeah, they're just 2 large amounts of restitution, 0341 and 0360 that's still owed. I believe in speaking with probation that we believe she has of course, a drug issue.
Let me ask you from probation, help me out on this. She's been on probation, since July of, for 2 years. How much restitution has she paid? Nothing. Okay. All right. It's not good, obviously. All right. Anything else?
I think, Your Honor,
What are you asking for from the state?
if she were to stay on probation, we would recommend SafeP to try and get her some treatment for drug issues and a high risk mental health caseload there that try to get her on track to pay back. If not, we'd ask for 7 years TDC, Your Honor.
How much time does she have? She's got 226 days. On probation, what do you think? Is there any? I mean, if you don't show up, we can't help you.
The August appointment of last year was supposed to be so we can meet to get her signed up for safety special needs. So I'm still wanting to do that for her to get treatment, and then afterwards, the high medium risk caseload.
So she was placed on probation in July. Okay. She never reported. After that?
After that last appointment, she didn't report back. She did.
No,
We were trying to
okay.
get her.
I placed her on probation on July 31st of 2023.
Right.
So when did she report?
She was reporting at that.
Okay, for a year,
Mhm.
for about a year.
Yes, but previously she had, once she was placed on probation, she had to do 180 days up front. So afterwards, after she was released from the county jail, then she was reporting. She was reporting up until July 30th of 24. After that last appointment, she did.
Okay. And the total amount of restitution that's owed in all of these 4 cases?
It's roughly 24,000, Your Honor.
But none has been paid? Nothing? Okay. All right, and that's.
Judge, Ms. Stafford has I have talked to her a little bit. She said that the time prior to all the revocation and before she was arrested, she did have a.
This part hits hard. Homeless, addicted, and alone. The defendant explains why she turned to meth. It's a heartbreaking glimpse into the human side of criminal justice. Desperation meets bad decisions. But then, the judge cuts her off with sarcasm. Where are they giving away free meth? It's brutal, but real. His tone says it all. Sympathy ends where self-accountability begins. She's pleading for understanding, but he's demanding ownership. This is the tightrope every courtroom walks. Punishment versus compassion. Would you say the judge is being too harsh, or exactly right to hold her accountable? Drop your thoughts below.
Where do they give them away at? Where? You know where?
Well,
Well, yeah, Belmont's a big town. We got over 100,000 people. Where in Beaumont? I want to know if it's around my house because I wouldn't want that.
it's on the streets.
They're just giving them it free. Okay. You know better though, right? You know not to do that.
I was in a position that I've never been in before,
What was that?
homelessness, and I didn't have no support system. I didn't have nobody.
Okay, I understand that, but we've had homeless, unfortunately, for eons. Before drugs came along, I mean, they weren't handing them out for free. Come on.
I never been through it. They were for free. I never paid for drugs.
Shame on you. You made a choice though, right? How does that help you in a quality of life? How does that help you be better? How does that help you stay out of prison?
It didn't help me deal with being homeless.
Well, those are problems, but sometimes people have problems. Sometimes they lose all their money. Sometimes they're homeless, but you don't run to felonies, right?
I didn't come in no more felonies.
You did all these. Methamphetamine is a felon. Possessing that is a felony offense.
That's they dropped it to a misdemeanor.
Not in front of me. They didn't. Not in front of me. You're charged with illegal possession of controlled substances. You said that you had methamphetamine, ecstasy, and marijuana. That's
No,
those are felonies.
that ecstasy and
You said true, ma'am.
No, right, sir.
Go ahead. All right, here's what I'm going to do. Until you can tell me the truth, don't interrupt me. What I don't like about this, the way this is headed, is she's not telling me the truth.
Ma'am,
No, you're not, ma'am.
Can I just read you this letter, please?
No, ma'am. You are looking at up to 10 years in prison on each of these cases, 40 years, and you're going to. You just interrupted me for the fourth straight time.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. What we'll do is come back for a hearing and look at this 40-year sentence because I'm sorry, you don't follow any rules now. You don't follow the rules of decorum, being nice, polite, nothing. And all of this is your choices. These are your choices. No, that's all. We'll have a hearing on this and we'll decide at up to 10 years on each of these cases. It's obvious that she's destined not to follow any sets of rules, whether it's with probation or with the court and just decency of dealing with other people. That is all. You were placed on probation. Let's see, it's over 2 years ago for a fraud. And a motion to revoke probation was filed in this case on December 12th of 2024, which alleged you committed the offense of fraud on or about June 6th, 2024 in Orange County, Texas, in violation of condition 1 of your probation order, which is don't commit a crime. Failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as required in violation of condition 18 of your probation order, and in arrears by of fees and costs and restitution in the amount of $9,640 in violation of condition 35 of your probation order. And did she abscond?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's what happened. So, well, it's certainly alleged, but has she been reporting
She hasn't reported
since when?
Since December of 24.
Oh, when the motion to revoke was filed. And now a first amended motion to revoke probation has been filed stating as of April 21st, 2025, stating that you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office as required for January, February, and March of 2025 in violation of your probation order. So the allegation states when this motion was filed earlier, then you failed to report. When was she arrested?
She was arrested August 28th, I believe.
August 28th. So this was filed in April, but she was supposed to have been reporting every month. So there's some more months, April, May, June, July, August, 5 more months. And then how was she arrested? Anybody? Probation? You know how she got her put in custody? Does anybody know? Do you? Does the defense know?
He does.
The traffic violation.
Oh, you were stopped for a traffic violation and then there was a warrant that I guess
Yes.
red flagged you. All right.
And I believe that was, Your Honor, she was arrested, I believe, in the Houston area there where she had been staying with an individual.
Was she supposed to stay in Jefferson County, Texas, except
It's not alleged.
I'm asking something. Thank you for pointing that out. And I will sign the order. Was she supposed to
She
be?
was supposed to be in Jefferson County.
Yeah, okay.
They haven't alleged that too.
It's not, Your Honor, but
No,
it's
but
not
it's one of my probation
They
orders.
took his history.
All of this has a lot to do with things such as bond for marriage.
Yes.
Bond. All right. So here we are. She's in custody. She's on regular probation and she was sentenced to 2 years in the state jail and that was suspended and she was placed on 5 years probation back on April 28th of 2023.
Your Honor,
So what should we do today?
she's prepared to enter pleas true to the administrative violations, the failure to report, the community service, and the fees. I believe the charges in Orange County were fees, so that would be not true.
Your Honor, I believe we can prove up all of that as well as we'll have a plethora of jail calls supporting not only was she not living in the county, that she's also trying to get other individuals' information on their phones and all kinds of
I don't understand what that
issues.
means.
Well, having access to other people's social security information, their driver's license, things like that.
You know, ma'am, I mean, you're in enough trouble being rude. If it was a crime, you'd have committed another violation. Just don't interrupt. You'll have a chance to be heard fully.
I would just observe that none of those are alleged as violations in the MTRP unless they've now filed.
Okay, hold on. Let's see what we can do about the disposition. You are willing to she's willing to enter pleas of truth to what?
Community service fees and not reporting for them, that's the election.
Okay, that would be 2, 3, and 4 of the First Amendment, right?
Right.
And then the first one is a substantive crime of fraud. All right. Well, we can do that today on 2, 3, and 4. The state wants, but you want a hearing on the issue of allegation 1?
I don't know if they want.
Hold on, let him talk, please.
Yes,
My
I'm sorry.
God. Yeah, you can speak. now.
Yes, Your Honor, and also to have access and provide that to Mr. Kimmler, a lot of those jail calls that I was referencing that potentially use.
All I'm worried about is what we should do. They want to prove up allegation 1. Does she want, is it your preference to allow her to plead to 2, 3, and 4 now?
Yes,
Okay.
and then we'll request a bond and set it for a contested hearing.
All right. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any statements you make, Mary Genevieve Bond, to this hearing on this motion to revoke probation filed April 21st, 2025? Your statements shall be true and correct, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Lower your hand. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this first amended motion to revoke probation? Can we proceed in summary?
So waived.
In summary, this first amended motion to revoke probation alleges that on April 28th, 2023, in this court, this criminal district court of Jefferson County, Texas, you were convicted of the state jail felony of fraudulent use or possession of identifying information and was sentenced to 2 years in the state jail. That was suspended. You were placed on regular probation for 5 years. Is that true? Ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Speak up.
Okay. Allegation 2 states you failed to provide verification of performing community service hours as required in violation of condition 18 of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
Yes, sir.
True.
Three of this motion to revoke probation states you failed to pay court assessed fees as directed, and as of September 10th, 2024, you were in arrears $9,640 on fees, payments, fine, restitution, etc. Is that true or untrue?
Sir, it's true.
Okay, but were you able to pay any of that?
Well, I had employment
Were you able to pay any?
no, sir.
You weren't even able to pay anything?
No, sir. And
Okay. How much has she paid toward this?
And Your Honor, that was actually from 3 different cases. She pled guilty in cause number 21-36485 for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, was sentenced to 18 months state jail. Also cause number 21-38043, securing or executing a document by deception. She also was sentenced to 18 months state jail on that. And that was both on April 28th, 2023. Also in cause number 22-40039, credit card or debit card abuse, she was sentenced to 18 months state jail on that as well.
Okay. All that being said,
Well, all the restitution was combined and entered into this case.
how much has she paid since she's been on probation for fees, restitution, etc.?
She's paid in total $104. Nothing has been paid towards restitution.
$104 total? That's it?
That was a question. That was a question, so.
I don't recall that being the amount of pay.
Do you have any more actual evidence in what you're thinking about other than what they have bookkeeping? And generally it's correct.
Your Honor, I had a difficult time.
You're having a
getting
difficult
employment.
time.
I had it because of,
April 28th, 2023, that's going on 2.5 years. 2.5 years, and she's paid $100. $100. Yeah, I'd shake my head. This is hard to believe. Oh, and finally, number 4 of the first amended states you failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office for the months of January, February, and March of 2025 in violation of condition 4 of your probation order, which is to report monthly. Is that true and correct? Is that allegation? So are you pleading true then to allegations 2, 3, and 4 of this? We can't all speak at the same time. 2, 3, and 4 of this first amended motion to revoke probation. You're pleading true voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because those allegations are true.
yes, sir.
Do you understand that a knowing and voluntary plea of true to 1 or more violations of probation, that would be enough to grant the motion to revoke probation? Your probation can be revoked and you can be sentenced to 2 years in the state jail. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true nonetheless?
Yes, Your Honor.
I find you are pleading true to allegations 2, 3, and 4 of this first amended motion to revoke probation, voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently, and because those are true. What I want to do is I'm going to give the state and both parties some additional time to present evidence on what decision the court should make, and if revocation, what is the appropriate sentence, what would be the disposition if I deem revocation has been supported by a preponderance of the evidence or greater. And when can we reset that hearing for?
2 weeks, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Would 2 weeks be enough?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then I know you're going to ask for a bond. I just want one step at a time. Hearing 2 weeks, good?
that's fine. Your Honor, the other thing with her, I wanted her to address the court because I think her employment opportunities, there's a temporal constraint on that. And that's why she needs to get out to avail herself of this employment opportunity. If you could enlighten what your situation is with your job, with a job.
Yes, I was given an opportunity, Your Honor, to work for a company with property management, which is what I did prior to all of this. And I just would like an opportunity, even if it's ankle monitor or anything, to be, it's the first time I've been given an opportunity to make this kind of money where I could pay my debts and still have a reasonable life with my children that I could afford. And I believe that I can pay the full amount monthly on it. I don't know if the opportunity will come again.
What's the company's name?
Axiom,
And what would be the job title?
property manager,
And that would be in bond?
yes.
And what type of property would you be managing?
Well, it would be a work from home situation. I wouldn't even be on the property,
What would you be doing?
overseeing the property underneath supervision. I worked for them prior.
Is this
for
a
4
real
years.
estate or apartment complex?
Yes. I worked for them prior and they said they would give me an opportunity. They were gonna overlook some of this and try under the supervision of regional.
Up to now, have you had difficulty obtaining and maintaining employment?
Absolutely.
So because of the substantial publicity surrounding your
And
case
the meeting was pretty with a lot of difficulty for me to maintain employment with them.
in Jefferson County, is that right?
That's correct.
Pass with it.
Anything?
Your Honor, I'd absolutely object to that. She was aware.
Did you want to ask for any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. What do you want to?
I was just, all right, I'm obviously opposed to any kind of a bond. She was aware that she didn't report and that she was, there was a warrant out for arrest and she just didn't show up. In fact, was in Houston and had to get pulled over in order to be brought in.
Nicholas Chambers.
Okay, anything else?
No, we would just request her.
Right.
No.
We're resetting this hearing for 2 weeks, is that right? And everybody can be ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Your request for bond is denied. This is a conviction, a felony conviction, and the court finds some of the information that's been given here that you, one of the way you fix a loss of money to people, and you had a prolific reputation in this case, a prolific reputation of what was lost in fraud. But for the last 2.5 years, $108 total, woeful. It's terrible. It speaks volumes. Failure is not an option in your situation, man. The mess that you had made, you needed to be successful in getting these people paid back, and that was not done. And also, your credibility is shot.
And that wraps another tense day in court for burglary cases, failed restitution, drug violations, and a defendant running out of chances. The judge lays it out plainly. Probation isn't forever. It's a promise that can be broken. Whether she walks free or heads to prison will depend entirely on what happens next hearing. If you found this breakdown as gripping as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom moments where law, life, and second chances collide.